Hello. Welcome to no wait, I have to do a different intro. Wait, this might sound weird for a moment, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the wacky world of clocks and plants, where numbers sprout and time ticks with a twist. Now I have a mathematical joke for you. Why did the plant bring a calculator to the party? Because it wanted to branch out and calculate its rootin' tootin' growth rate. Get ready for a wild ride through the mathematical garden of chaos. Now, okay, sorry folks if that sounded awkward. I promised a robot I would say that. Part of today's theme involved I wanted to show some new things that I tested on that popular ChatGPT robot regarding mostly math, but right at the end I asked this thing, okay, test your sense of humor. What is the funniest joke you can think of? Although they note that, remember, humor is subjective, which is true. And I didn't find their joke that funny. I'm not sure what their joke was. Also, it's not letting me scroll in this visual, so I'm going to have to do the thing where my screen looks chaotic for a moment by removing this and adding a new one. It doesn't let me scroll sometimes for some reason. Anyway, thank you to any combo lords joining me today. Always lovely to have you. Today is a mild anniversary of sorts. I realized that there are many days of the month that I like to have a mini anniversary of sorts of, because why not have something special for many days? And something important happened on my life on the 11th once, something happened on the 13th once, something happened on the 17th once, something happened on the 18th once, 25th. Various days have been important. And now, let me scroll now. And today I realized the 27th is kind of a day, because although I posted the first video on this channel a bit before that, a bit after that, and I filmed it a bit before. I filmed the first videos that showed up on this channel just over a year ago. I had been posting 1 year ago. The Combo Class channel had 2 episodes out and probably had literally just 10 or 20 subscribers. And in fact, let me it'll take a minute. Later I'll show you the actual graphs without revealing too much personal data. But a year ago, was still at the point in life where I loved YouTube and had made many YouTube channels over the years, and none of them had ever gotten past 2 digits of subscribers, including this one. Well, no, including the Combo Class one. And this one didn't exist. I had been posting a few shorts I had been cooking up on TikTok due to people saying that would help. I did get a little audience brewing there, but not many of them went to YouTube, and I've sort of forgotten about the TikTok. It was fun, and I like my people there who, helped me feel proud of my shorts and stuff, but YouTube is more of my home, and so I'm probably going to hire someone to put the stuff on TikTok. I haven't even been catching the TikTok page up with all the stuff this page has. It doesn't have any of the long stuff, but I haven't even been posting all the shorts there, because I just like YouTube a lot more. It's the app I actually use as a watcher and viewer. And although I posted the first video on this channel, when I first called this Combo Class Shorts was the name of this channel, and then it was called Combo Class Bonus, and then it was called Demotro from Combo Class, and probably someday as my name hopefully gets more well-known as what you can call a mononym, a one-name thing, Demotro. If that gets well-known enough, as well as Combo Class being well-known enough, then they can be separate. If you say, like, here's my channel called Steve-O and here's Jackass, Steve-O was in Jackass. Certain things people already associate culturally. If people on a bigger scale associate Demotro from Combo Class, I'll probably just cut this channel's name to Demotro. Basically, this is more of my playground channel. That is more of my perfectionist channel. But I started this just to put the shorts. And Then they, right after I did that, they amalgamated the shorts into the channel page better. So there could have been an alternate history if I had waited a minute and they had done that change. But I didn't want to put any of the shorts on the main combo class channel, although now I've decided why not share them with there, partially because they've let the layout separate those two sections. And I posted so many shorts on here that I had filmed like 200 or something. A lot of them did really well, and the algorithm likes shorts enough that now it likes the ones I put on this channel more than it does on the other one, because it likes how long you've been doing it and consistency and such. But really what I want to note, because I'm kind of ranting for a while and I want to get to some actual topics, is just that although I think of the start of this channel, because the first video I posted when it was Combo Class Shorts was September 1st last year. That was one start of this channel. Another start was last April 11th was the first day I filmed any short content that may have made it on this channel. It's the first day anything was filmed that may have made it on this channel, apart from maybe once I start incorporating more rare flashbacks like my Patreon people get to see. I'll put those in actual content before too long. I have a lot of old channels people don't know about. I still have all those old channels that have 2 digits of subscribers. But this one skyrocketed over the 9 months. And the reason today's kind of an anniversary is, although I posted the first video a little under 9 months ago, last September 1st, I made the channel right about now. I'm not positive it was this time, but I think it would have been the evening. So it was definitely this day. But as we've said, 6 months ago isn't always half a year. I hate this thing. So I'll look it up later exactly how many days it was maybe. And you sometimes get screwed by the February or something. And 6 months to the same day is not always half of a year's worth. I mean, obviously it won't be exactly, but sometimes it's a bit off. Now, what I have here, apart from, let me just say for real, like these 9 months we've skyrocketed. Thank you all so much. This is so cool. I can't believe that I am getting to the point where I'm pretty sure this is going to be able to be my job in the future. I mean, I still live with my parents at home, so I can't afford rent or anything, but it's going good places. And apart from my gratitude, I also want to say, stay tuned, because I have a lot of cool stuff coming. The best stuff I want to share with the world has not come out yet. The stuff I was ready to share with the world has come out yet. But most of my best episodes and topics were shelved because they were so grandiose to me. I felt like I wouldn't do them right if I stuck them in grade -1. And I was gonna put them at the end of grade -1 and they get kicked back a bit. But during this June, I do have another episode that I'm finishing the filming of tomorrow. I have most of it filmed already. That's about a cool unsolved problem in math that's really simple to describe. One of my favorite unsolved problems in math. I bet many of you don't know it. It's not like quite as popular as the twin prime conjecture, although some of you will know it. And it's an unsolved problem that's simple enough we can describe with a little one-sentence analogy and with little pictures. And it's also... This will maybe spoil if anyone does kind of know. Leave a comment and I'll confirm if it's toward the topic, if you're right. But the answer to one of the unsolved questions is a 2-digit number between, it's in the, I'm not going to go into details, but a 2-digit number in the 40s, a whole number in the 40s that mathematicians know is the answer to a certain thing, know is the answer to level 5 of a certain thing, but they don't know which whole number it is out of those. And you'd think, like, out of the unsolved stuff, it usually seems like abstract, like how do you prove that? Or like big number, like I need a really big computer. And this secretly is kind of big numbery stuff because it's going to relate to these graphs. And I was drawing a bunch of graphs with 4 dots in the last stream. And if you imagine how many ways I could draw graphs with like 10 dots, it's pretty crazy. So, if you want a fun little art project on your own, see if you can figure out the somewhere in the 30s amount of ways to connect five vertices to each other. And shifting, moving, whatever is the same. So it's almost an algebraic relationship. Like 1 is connected to 3, one of which is connected to 2 others that's connected back to that. In a land called graph theory, but not X and Y coordinate graphs. So that was part of what I wanted to make this stream about was, hey, it's 9-month anniversary. I want to thank people and I want to let them know the best is yet to come. As well as, like I've said, I'm a writer at heart. And although I do plan on making videos my whole life, I also plan on dedicating a lot of my time to writing written stuff. And that there'll still be even more content than currently when I have a good team assembled, video-wise. But I'll additionally be writing some stuff. And I think I might start trying to put that out on the sooner end in a fun way. So a lot of the stories that I've been writing almost cross over into some of the math textbooks that I want to write. But these are fiction stories. They are mathematical. You know, if you enjoy math, you'll find a lot of neat little hidden things, and you'll also, you know, maybe it'll get more people hooked on cool math stuff secretly by putting it in fiction. But I like telling stories, and I have stories that brew in my heads and my dreams and my notebooks. And I wrote a whole book when I was in 7th grade, and I finished it. And then throughout high school, I got more distracted by music and I was still writing a lot, still doing a lot of math, but I've had a few things calling me throughout life. Like there's the math, the nature, the music, the writing, a few different, there's a few more on top of that, I'm sure. And I was pretty driven by the music in high school and shortly after. But I also began writing another book. I was like, I wrote this book back in high school. It was a little sci-fi book. Why don't I try and write another book? I got all these ideas. When I was younger, before I ever thought I would be a YouTuber, because YouTube didn't exist when I was tiny. When did YouTube come out? Was it like 2005 or something? Is that right? Let me grow myself so I can check something without... I'm always worried when I Google stuff that it's going to like show my zip code or something because the computer is weird. But YouTube was invented in, February 2005. So it was invented when I was almost 12. But when I was younger, it didn't exist. And I remember when I first saw a video that my friend Zach showed me when I was like, must have been 12 or so. That he was like, this is this site called YouTube where anyone can put a video. And I'm like, what do you mean anyone? And he showed me some video of some random... All I remember is I think someone fell off a rail or a balcony and got hurt. If I could somehow track that down, maybe it would bring back a memory. But it wasn't the content. It was the idea that, whoa, this non-Hollywood movie of somebody like getting hurt off a rail or whatever... Somebody could just put it up and I was able to watch it. That means that all the home movies... I had been making home movies when I was younger than that, before YouTube existed, on little mini DVs and stuff with my friends. These little disc things and various old-fashioned now technology. And I still need to convert some of those. I have some of them that are still only on the old stuff I need to convert. I need a tech wizard to move to the Bay Area and join my team or something. Because I'm not the tech guy, but I got files upon files of cool stuff. And I'd been making home movies and I was like, whoa, YouTube sounds so cool. Anyone can put their stuff up. So I've really liked it since its inception. And in that era, I did make a lot of YouTube channels, but like I'm getting sidetracked with a lot of stuff. I was sidetracked with trying to make little home movies, trying to make music, trying to make mathematical discoveries. That there would be certain times I'd go really deep into like, there's something I'm studying in a notebook, and I would spend like a week where like hours a day focused on this math problem of some number thing or shape thing I had invented and was playing with. So that was a little less common in that era, but there was like rabbit holes I would go down for sure. And throughout all of that, with the writing and stuff, I've never since then finished another book since high school. And I've started so many. I have like 10 more. I mean, like the amount of quantity. I literally don't know how to say it without it sounding like it's an exaggeration. Because sometimes I'll look at the word count that I just like type for fun, and it's really big. I type as a sort of almost neurotic habit. And I write in notebooks the same way. I like to talk a lot, and when I don't have people to talk to, like you guys or my friends or family, when those people aren't around, I'm like, better talk to the notebook. And somehow I get perfectionist about my writing, and I always re-edit the fiction books, and I've never finished one since high school. But I have so many half-finished ideas, and over the years I've realized that many of them have become interconnected, and most of them take place in the same little small town I've invented. And some of them are choose your own adventure like. It's not that you pick what happens in the plot, but you do have a choose your own adventure-esque choice as to where you see next. Which document do you want to go to next? Perhaps, you read some document, and then afterward, maybe you can either go to the next thing the writer of that document wrote, or the next time after somebody read that document what they did, or some weird place the document itself ended up. So there's a lot of documents and layers of fiction in my computers and notebooks that I'm still worried that I'm not going to put a whole book together. And so I'm kind of tempted to start releasing chapters in a choose your own adventure-ish way that I'll let you folks have a say off. I'll let you usually vote on which choose your own adventure you want to see next. And most of them will be like written in an unfinished state, and whichever one you pick, I'll tidy up and finish and put out to the world. And we will see more corners of this universe I'm developing that has a lot of mysteries and puzzle pieces that whichever corners you pick, it might be a little confusing at first, and you're going to have to just see more corners and it'll slowly make sense. There's a lot of mysteries cooked together. And for those who are just here for the math, don't worry, there's a ton of math in it as well. But it also invokes other interpretations of the symbols I like, I hung a bunch of clocks here, I have a bunch of dice here. What are other things that could happen with clocks and dice? Maybe we'll see that in the fiction. And other symbols we like. But I might do that at some point before long. I do have comboclass.org tied down. There's nothing there yet, but I own the domain. So I might start, and here's the thing, comboclass.com was taken, but comboclass.org was open, and they loosened the restrictions on .orgs. You don't need to do anything different to be a .org nowadays. Plus, when I thought about it, it was like when they switched the loosening the restrictions, some .orgs got annoyed. They're like, we have the more official one. Now you're letting anyone get that? But I think that in a sort of subversive way, Combo Class does deserve to be there. And I'm getting so sidetracked that I need to get back on topics. My point of all of that stuff was that maybe before long I'll start releasing little chunks of the book. Instead of seeing them as books I'm trying to finish, since they are interconnected documents, maybe I'll start releasing chapters. And they may come from different books once it's all put together. But getting it out to the world will help. And I love writing. And it's not going to get in the way of my videos because I do it anyway. Same with music. If you ever see me start dropping music on this channel or whatever, which could happen at some point in between other videos, It's not going to get in the way of the other release schedule. It'll be on top of it. Those are 3 things I really like, are studying math / science / other educational things, writing, and making music. We'll also do music theory lessons. I just bumped into my old boss today. I used to work at a music shop, and we're still friends. So, like, I saw her because she was interacting with my family, and it's we had a very good amicable separation of me having to leave the shop, and we were together many years from when it was a tiny shop to when she had 2 shops. So we both have been with each other through ups and downs, and thank you to my boss, who maybe I'll shout out more specifically in the future, for sticking with me through some hard times and knowing that I would come through and help the companies and then depart when it was time for combo class. But the point of that was that since I'm still friends with not only the boss but a lot of the employees at those shops, I think it wouldn't be a long shot to be able to go after hours sometime and film one of our music theory lessons in a really cool sector of a music shop where we have any instrument at our disposal. Like, I have a ukulele, a piano, a guitar here, but imagine just walls of them. That would look sick in the background of the video. So, I'm going to shrink myself again, but I'm sorry I didn't look at the comments. Sometimes I do that where I take quite a long intro, and then I do like to answer comments when I have time. So, lots of nice things. Somebody said, have I ever explained any mathematical card tricks? I made one short about a little card trick I invented that, funny enough, in the short, there was like a little mess up that somebody who was doing the trick with me, they like couldn't pick up the cards right or something. So I think a lot of people thought it was like an awkward looking moment that it wasn't in the trick. But the trick was partially a joke. If you watch my trick about a card, my short about a card trick, it's partially a joke because I say that like the number was supposed to be in between something, and then it ends up in between in like a different sort of way. And there's, let's see. Sorry, I thought about something else and got distracted. I'm going to need to skim through these comments relatively quickly. And because we got a lot of cool comments. Love you all. You're so cool. My combo lords. Now, if you're not sure if you're a combo lord, then, you know, stick around. Keep watching the videos, especially the long form horizontal ones on both channels. And you'll, if you think you're learning stuff and continue to appreciate the way we're approaching learning, then maybe you're a combo lord. It's also supposed to be fun here, especially on this channel, where not every single video is going to be educational on this channel. On the combo class channel I have, probably every video on there will have some thread of pure education in it. To some degree, like there was like one snack break early in the grade that I can think of that is not that much of a topic, but I kind of go into a few things about punctuation. But there could be philosophy ones, I guess, which are harder to pinpoint a topic. But they're going to be more educational on the combo class. Here, I like doing that. I like teaching, and I study a lot of math, so I make a lot of videos about like my interpretation of something I learned that I think I have a unique interpretation to show people or whatever. And there will be other stuff mixed in on the channels too. So, you know, hopefully you're having fun here with me, folks, even on the times we're just hanging out or goofing around or experimenting or whatever. Somebody asked if I'm okay with the nickname Chill Nye for like Bill Nye. Sure, yeah. I'm okay with any nicknames. I don't want that to be like my main nickname, but I do not mind if anyone calls me Chill Nye. Although, of course, as you know, Demotro and Combo Class and Threven are the 3 phrases we are trying to get out into the world more. Now, you know, if you guys go to school, or if you are a teacher at a school or whatever. I dare you, sometime this month, I dare you to try and tell a teacher at a schooling institute or a teacher in your life about a combo class video that you think their students would enjoy, or just that the main combo class channel exists. That channel it doesn't have as many videos. They're all higher quality and better edited and stuff. And there's, just 40 or 50 total. And so you can kind of skim through the names. I'm going to make playlists soon. But right now there's still a small enough amount. You can kind of skim through the names and get the topic, hopefully. Some of them, I have to play the YouTube game where I put make the title sound a little catchy. I'm not going to say something untrue in the title. I hate clickbait that's untrue. Hate it. But I do have to play the game of making my topic sound catchy in the title more than I have to play the game of making the topic clear which subject it's covering to a potential teacher. So maybe sometime on comboclass.org or something, I'll make a little thread or something about these are the best ones for this type of class. But I think some of my videos would be good for classes. I think one of the newer ones about identifying 2-digit primes, even though it's a random sounding skill, it's not about learning the skill about the primes. It's about the journey, about discovering what it means, about how primes relate to square roots and all this stuff. And so I think teachers should show their students my 2-digit prime one and some other ones. However, although I can be cocky about some of my stuff, I am humble enough to know that I am not yet the greatest math channel on YouTube. There are superior, due to their large, weird bug on me. Due to their large volume of work, like Mathologer and 3 Blue 1 Brown and Stand Up Maths and Number File. Those channels have a bigger body of work than me and they've done more. But I do genuinely think that someday Combo Class will be the greatest educational channel. And for me to feel that way, I'm going to need to have a lot of grades out. And they're going to not only have a lot of grades out, but each is going to have to be cooler than the last. So, thank you to whoever enjoyed the golden ratio video. Make sure you all check that out. It's linked in the description. That's the newest combo class one. Going to be 3 days or so till our next graph theory one. So make sure you've seen the golden ratio stuff. Also links to the Fibonacci and Lucas numbers in that episode. All right. Now, somebody's saying they know why it's called 24/7, because 24 times 7 equals 365. And something seems a little off there. We need a couple more things timesing up to that 365, and it doesn't multiply perfectly. Check out my episode from a few months ago about calendars if you want to see why. Believe it or not, although I think most things should go, usually I'm pro 12 when something's near 12, if something would be 10, 11, 14, something like that, I'm push it to 6 or 12. Those are hella divisible numbers. But in this case, I think there should be 13 months. And if you want to see why, I have made an episode about that. That's not linked in this description, but I'm sure you can find it. All right. Somebody is saying there's 10 possible lines, each can exist or not, so there should be 1024. If you're talking about the graph theory, we don't count duplicates because it's almost like an algebraic-ish connection. If we slid them all around, we're allowed to drag the dots wherever we want, but we're not allowed to change which are connected to which with which color. So if you drag around the dots, you could turn those into a smaller amount. I'm actually worried. I need to look it up for a second. I was we calculated 11 last stream, I thought, but there's 13 here. And are there 13, or did I double draw one last stream? I'm going to need to make myself big for a second, find that graph thing again. Oh, by the way, I'm going to need to get some, candles or something. We're not going to do a campfire tonight. I don't have that set up, but we'll do a campfire stream again sometime. We did those back in, sounds like back in the day, I want to say, but it is a 9-month channel anniversary. I don't know if I get to say back in the day yet. So, haven't even got through all the comments, so I'm getting distracted again. But I was going to look up the graphs real quick, just to, I want to double check this before I forget. I have a link to the graphs somewhere here, so let me grab it. Out of my millions of documents, not going to tell you the name. Okay, so not actually millions, but to not exaggerate, out of my thousands of documents, going to the one about next episode, because I have a link there I need to take a peek at. Now that I know I've gotten this up without any personal info, I can show you it. This is not how we're going to visualize the next episode. Our visualization is more like everything's connected to each other, and the ones that don't look connected here would be a different color. So here they have drawn the second color in the everything is connected as an invisible color. So it's really the same analogy if you call it, invisible, but we're going to treat it like two colors where the missing spots here would be filled in with an alternate color. These are the flips of them, known as the dual graph. Some are their own dual. And these are an unwound version. Like that line right there is actually how they drew the one that I drew, like a Z. Down there. Oh, you can't even see it in the darkness. We got to get out some candles or something. But looking at these graphs, how many do we want for 4? Yeah, 11. What the heck? What happened? What? Do we have a duplicate or something last stream? We got none, 1, 2 together, 2 separate, 1 touching 3. And what about the square all the way around? That's already covered by something. Which one of these is, This ends up being a way to draw that inverse. Some of these are doubles. I'm going to need to, oh man. Well, so it's fun to do personal experiments. It's okay. I purposefully didn't rush to this chart last stream. I purposefully was like, you know what? We're going to try and figure them all out ourselves. And I think we might have double counted one, but that's how the trying it yourself process goes, and it's fun. I recommend trying stuff yourself. Somebody said try to cook if I'm brave enough. Do you mean like cook food out here right now? Or do you mean like a dance move? Oh, you mean cook food? Yeah, if I ever have a good place to stream indoors, I don't always have a good place to stream indoors without it being background noise. I live in a small house, smallish, but sometime when there's a good time, I'll do cooking during streams. We've done campfire cooking a while ago. That's fun. I like campfire cooking. But I also want to do normal cooking because I actually kind of like cooking, and I feel like I probably could give you folks some tips. Like, I'm not going to become a cooking channel, but you may notice I do snack break episodes once in a while. I like plants and botany, and I was a vegetarian for some years way in the past, but now I'm not, so I like eating meats too, and I like cooking, so I will share some recipes in some bonus videos someday. So, so many cool comments. This stream has more cool comments than usual. So, I can't answer all of them. Somebody said, what's the title of the sci-fi book? This is back from an earlier one. I did not publish it. I'll show you guys sometime. I have it, but I just printed like 10 copies, and mostly it was like digital. I also co-wrote another book that was a comedy book I co-wrote with a friend where we kind of each wrote our own chapters to a degree. So I could show you guys the chapters I wrote for that book. That was more of a comedy book. And here's the thing. Someday I'll have a lot of stuff to show you when the time's right, because when I say I have more than 10 half-finished books, I'm actually not exaggerating. So there's some full chapters in those for sure. I do a lot of writing. Now, somebody says, make sure to let us know here and or on Combo Class when my fiction comes out. Yeah, if I ever publish a book, I'll be proud enough to for sure put it on both channels. When I start putting out random chapters, I'll at least mention that on this channel. Somebody is commenting the Rickroll lyrics. I'm a fan of dumb memes like that, you know. Now, so just too many good comments to respond to. I might come back to these in a minute. I need to go grab some candles in a sec. And I'll answer one or two more comments first. And then you guys are going to get to watch the darkness hit. And I'll be back in like 3 minutes. But first, some comments. So, let's see. Somebody said a better audio system would be good. I do. And yeah, I wanted to upgrade that for grade -2. And I've been really busy the past few months with a variety of things. And I've been wanting to get an episode out every week. And I haven't had a team assembled, so I've been editing them all. So what I'm going to do in June, and that the audio upgrade might be coming as soon as June, because I actually bought one mic so far and I'm going to buy more. It's not a good setup for the audio, because not only does it not sound perfect at the end, but it takes a lot of mixing to even sound to the level it's at. For the main episodes, I mean, for the stream, you can just hear, this isn't what the episodes sound like. This is my computer's audio. But it's a newish computer because the old one broke and got replaced. So maybe good. But my phone, the audio is good, but it's also been acting a little weirder usually maybe. And it takes a lot of mixing on my end from when the camera's further or closer to me, because it's actually coming from the camera. So the problem is that when I attach a mic to myself, I don't want to lose the bird sounds. I like when sometimes there's bird sounds in the background. And, you know, there could be a time where I have to like overlay bird sounds for a scene, just like I clipped them from here and added them there, but that feels kind of cheesy and fake. I would almost want to like let you know if I did that. Probably would. Like, I don't use like CGI and stuff in my videos. I really like the like, this is actual real world feeling, and you know that it's all in the real world, unless I make it very overly clear that something. I haven't used any visual effects, but if they do come out in the future, they'll be overly clear, or like have a title card or whatever. And because partially just because I love YouTube, and like I said earlier in this stream, my whole life I've been watching YouTube and liking the simplicity and lo-fi-ness of it. Not saying the audio shouldn't improve. I still want to improve my audio. But certain aspects of the handheld camera or the slightly changing dynamic of things, I like more than a Hollywood movie. I've gotten into some TV shows over the years I like, but there's a small handful of movies that I've ever fallen in love with. Not many. I don't watch many movies. And now I don't watch many TV shows either. There's just like a handful I loved back in the day when I spent more time watching random comedy shows or whatever. By the way, some of the best comedy shows, if anyone cares, some of the best comedy shows, and maybe someday I'll even do a bonus video for some of these shows, like a bonus video for a given show deconstructing its comedy science, because I think one thing I'm interested in is comedy science. It's a book I might write someday. It's really weird when you're a mathematician and you want to make stuff funny. It's kind of clashing, yet can be helpful, yet hard to say. So one example is the rule of threes in comedy. I was starting to graph my own interpretation of different types of rules of threes. And sometimes I want to make episodes kind of like that are like, this is a graph. It is showing the joke structure in like the thing that happened in this common show or meme or whatever. But, what I was going to say is the best comedy shows, in my opinion, I might be missing some, but some of the best are The Office, Community, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Parks and Recreation. These were when I watched more TV show back in the day. And I'm missing some. I feel like I'm missing one or two important ones. Arrested Development. And some other really good ones. Also, as far as TV, although these are more live-ish, I really love everything that Nathan Fielder does from the guy Nathan For You. And I love everything Eric Andre does from the Eric Andre Show. Now, but even though I like those shows, like I said, I don't watch that many movies. Like sometime I'll tell you guys like my 10 favorite movies, and this sounds crazy, but I've probably watched, like people watch a lot of movies, I know. If you try and add up how many movies you think you've seen in your head, that you've seen more than 2/3 of the movie and kind of paid attention, I think I've only seen like 100 or 200 movies in my life. So more than some people for sure, but like some cultures wouldn't see any. That'd be a lot. But those were mostly way back in the day when I was like a kid and stuff too. So I don't know. Never been as big of a fan of movies, but I think they have potential. I would write a movie someday because I have more than enough ideas. If I have actually really good ideas for a comedy mystery TV show related to clues, and I'll make sure to put cool math in it too. So if anyone ever wants to deal with all of the everything except the writing and directing, I'm more than happy to write and direct a show. I also have a cartoon ready. If anyone ever wants to deal with everything except the writing and directing, I got a cartoon ready too. And also, by the way, if anyone does want to help out with combo class or collaborate in any way, my email is in the description, and sometimes I'm slow to reach back to people. I haven't had time to look at, since the last stream I told people to email me, haven't had time to reply to that yet, so sorry if people have sent stuff. But I will get back to all of you soon. I am looking to branch out my combo world, and I need more... not only collaborators, but various people incorporated in various ways. I'm bad at digital communication though, so I work better with people one-on-one, but I'll get better at digital communication because I just don't like technology. And someone said, so you have at least 2,000 documents, since you said thousands. I would say that thousands just means that you're past the number 1,000, because like you're in the thousands if you're at like 1,800, you'd say that's in the thousands. So I don't think you need to be at 2,000 to be in thousands unless you're doing an increment of thousands. It's not that the unit is thousands and I have exactly some amount of thousands of documents, but I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but yeah, I probably have 2,000 computer documents on all my hard drives. Word documents. And then I also have 30 or 40 paper notebooks that I need to go through. Somebody asked if I've talked about the Einstein tiles, and I haven't done that too much yet. I was getting so dark. I need to shrink myself and get some candles before everyone hates the dark and leaves. So, I haven't talked about the Einstein tile thing, and it was kind of because it was big enough news that I thought it was going to be covered by like Numberphile or one of those other big channels. I'm kind of surprised that like none of those math channels I mentioned earlier have done anything about it yet. And so I've seen it on some smaller channels, but given that it doesn't have that much YouTube coverage, I almost feel obligated to make something about the tile. I just need to study a little more about... I read a lot about the tile, but to build up to explain it, we have to pass by this other classic thing called a Penrose tiling with 2 tiles, because that was like a previous similar thing. So if I make an episode about that, the Einstein tile will be like the hook. It's a new shape. Mathematicians found tiles of plane in a new way. But it'll probably be like the last third of the episode, because there's actually a few types of things in that like progress to go through. Like, I haven't gone through the Penrose tilings or whatever. Haven't even explained what an aperiodic tiling is. Somebody says keep the bird sounds, and they like channels that haven't become sterilized. And yeah, that's the hard part. I do want my voice to sound better and clearer, though. So I'm going to find a way to get enough bird sounds when the birds are out, but to lose things like the wind blowing really badly on the microphone and stuff like that. So I need to get some candles or something, obviously. There's one light up thing here, and leave a comment if you can guess what light up thing I already have. I need to plug in an extension cord to plug it in, but it'll be worth it. Oh, there's a cat. Which one? It's so dark, I literally don't know if this is sage or sassafras. They're both like small and black and silky. I mean, I can obviously tell in the day, but... Hey. Hi, cat. Being out in the dark here does make me almost want to do another camping stream again soon. I would have to like push the desk into the corner here, but I might be able to still fit the tent. So, we got a glowing thing coming. Hold your horses very soon. And not sure if anyone guessed, but the glowy thing is a ferrofluid lava lamp that one of my awesome Patreon supporters, George Carozzi, sent me. And I know it's annoying and I hate having to do the hustle part, but I will note that the Patreon has some cool bonus content and is very helpful for the channel. Now, this thing takes a long time to charge up. So I had it charging for a while, then I had to unplug it and replug it. Okay, I think it might be ready. It might be bubbling up to the top. So, cool. I want to talk about some more stuff in this stream, but I gotta go to the bathroom, grab some water and stuff. So I'm gonna need to take, a 4 or 5 minute run inside. You can, if you folks are bored, here's a good amount of time. I have linked in the description here all the shorts you might have missed on the Combo Class channel that didn't hit notifications. In any case, I'm gonna leave this here to bubble up and stuff, and you can watch the rest of the darkness settle. And I'm going to come back with some cool surprises in 4 to 5 minutes. Love you all. Once upon a time, there was a weird glitch, and then twice upon a time, Demotro was here, and this is the second of the twice upon a time. I have some candles, and another fun thing as well. Now, somebody said that we should see the magnets. Ooh, I have magnets. I need to light the candles to see where the magnets are. But there are magnets. I just don't put them right next to the computer because I realized they're not good for electronics. Now, going up a bit, somebody asked my favorite movie because I was talking about that a bit. I'm going to answer a few questions and then we'll move on to chat robots and stuff. My favorite director is a director almost nobody has heard of. His name is Jan Schwankmeyer. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Schwankmeyer or something. And he's, I think, Czechoslovakian filmmaker. And he does stop motion. And his stop motion things are so surreal and weird. You got to see all his stop motion shorts and his version of Alice in Wonderland. And his one about this couple raising this weird animal child, or like plant child. Something about stop motion of that one style put me in a weird, surreal, dreamlike trance. And what I like out of a movie is, or a filmed thing, I mean, maybe to learn, but I'm not considering a documentary right now. If I'm not watching like a documentary or whatever, then I want an emotion, and there are 3 emotions that I can think that movies can be decent at conjuring in me that I enjoy from them. That other emotions, I'm kind of like, you could have done this better in a book or something. But the emotions that I can enjoy are laughter, so I like comedy movies once in a while. There are some dumb comedy movies I've loved in my day. Being spooked, so there are some horror movies I like, and the I don't know how to describe it. A surreal feeling that puts you almost in a dream or something. And lots of other good, cool comments. Somebody said an insect flew by. That's cool. I'm going to have to roll back at some point and try and watch that. Now, let's see. Yeah, we got some good magnets to test on this. Now, here's the problem. All these candles are fake candles. They're this type where I have 2 real candles, but that's why, part of why it took me a minute inside is I got a bunch of candles and I'm like, these aren't wax. These are plastic. They're kind of neat, but kind of lame. I honestly don't know how I feel about it. It's like, part of me is like, you're trying to be a candle, you're not. There's something phony about you. But then maybe I should settle in and be like, okay, if you're gonna be an electric light, it's at least going for a candle-like vibe. Maybe I can be friends with these things. And so, these are neat at like a party or whatever. You want to have a darker room in part of your party. Stick some of these fellas in there. A lot of them seem to be battery dead. But once I light all these, I think we're gonna get a little bit of glow. And then I have 2 really small real candles. Oh, man. I wish I had more candles. I melted all the candles a while ago. I need to get another batch. But I think this is going to light it up pretty good. And I have 2 very small real candles. 2 very small candles in 2 very... Oh, whoa, this is another bug. So these red and black bugs have been coming. I don't think they bite or anything. They've been walking on me a bit. Does anyone know what the ID of this bug is? Let me try and get a good camera view of it. I'm going to shine a light on it for a sec. Any bugologists? I don't even know what an insectologist is called. Anyone know the ID on that red and black bug? Wait, let me... We're going to go big for a minute while we embrace trying to make the darkness half darkness. And then we do have another topic. It's chat robots. But anyone know what this bug is? These things, I don't think they bite or anything. I've been letting them crawl on me once in a while. When they go on, yeah, I don't get too worried, but they would creep many people out. They're kind of weird looking, you know? And they just like fly randomly. So, I don't know. I'm a fan of bugs. I do like to research which ones may bite or not. But if a bug does not bite, it's probably your friend. Now, in particular, I think beetles are underrated. I think worms are underrated. I don't know if those are called bugs, but worms are underrated. Bees are underrated. What are the other? I guess like some are properly rated. Like butterflies get their credit. They're properly rated highly. Same with caterpillars. Moths are underrated. Nothing wrong with a moth. Somebody's saying I'm in the back rooms. I saw one series that was a good interpretation of that by the channel Kane Pixels. That guy made a good interpretation of that lore. I actually like that vibe sometimes. I used to watch, like, when I was a lot younger, I don't know if any of you, my viewers watched Marble Hornets, which was like, before the Slender Man got cheesy, it was like, maybe not the first time it was used, but the first time that character or meme, now it's like a meme, but it was more of like a witch-like entity. The first time it was used in like a YouTube-ish setting at least. And that series Marble Hornets and a lot of these like super lo-fi Blair Witch Project like YouTube horror series I was really into. So someday I'll make a video analyzing the best ones of those, because that's actually something I like, is sort of like the found footage-ish vibe of certain things. All right. And an entomologist is the proper word. Now, we're not super lit up, and I'm probably just looking all mysterious or creepy. Let's light the small but actual candles as well. And let's see, I could borrow some glowy things from the front yard. I have these glowy things that charge. All right, okay, I'm gonna just run and borrow a glowy thing. Okay. Glowy thing. I don't know how much this will help or not. So, we've got our illuminate. Oh, you can't even see all these little candle things. Look at all these candle things I got. So, we're going to go back a little bit and maybe we'll have this just like spooky illumination station. Oh no, you can't see me at all. That's okay. Well, I'll be mysterious while I talk to the robot. You can see my cool station of stuff. Oh, I forgot to show you folks. I got one more cool thing. This is something that we're going to do in a future stream. I don't know if everyone has fun with this type of stream, but I'm an old school fan of Lego, and my brother really likes Lego, and I bought my younger brother, who, since he still likes Lego, I sometimes like to get him a random set for his birthday, because I know he might not buy one for himself, but he'll enjoy it. And I bought this and then I like didn't order it correctly, and I rebought it. So I bought him a Lego thing twice by accident. So I ended up with one too. So now me and my brother have a copy of this thing. And the extra one here, I guess, is the combo classrooms. And this was the random gift I gave him for his last birthday that now we have an extra one of, is Lego gadgets. It's not just a normal, like, oh, we're going to build a Lego, ASMR Lego time. It's gadgets. We're going to build 11 machines. Now, sometimes they hype up the numbers. I bet there's at least 3 or 4 cool machines in there. When we look through, for example, the cool sounding ones are, these are the gadgets we will get to build when we do that. So it's not many pieces. It says 58 pieces, but you can like make one gadget at a time. While it might seem silly to some to play with a Lego gadget toy during a future stream, not only is it a good meditative activity while I chat, and I do like Lego from back in the day, but I think that it could show us some cool little things about physics or about how, you know, mechanical interactions work. Like, oh, you push a lever, it does that. Ooh, that has a surprising way it moves something. Lego or small things like that are actually kind of neat to demonstrate stuff like that. I need to get the Lego tensegrity table back out here too, the thing that floats itself. And I like the simplicity of clicking some bricks together. Although I know they got 1 billion Legos now. I'm not like some old gray-haired guy who's like, they only had 2x4 Legos in my day. But it was kind of like that. They like, when I was a kid, they're like anything that wasn't a block Lego, that wasn't like a geometric shape, was relatively rare. You'd get like a few of those per set or something. You'd be like, oh, cool. Oh, I got a flame, I got a turtle, or like something extra rare. But yeah, those are cool. Now, somebody says, do I consider myself a just chatting streamer or an edutainment streamer? I don't really watch streamers, so I don't keep up with streaming culture or know the terms. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I know all of the lore or terminology or whatever about horizontal YouTube videos. I don't know as much about the shorts and the live streams. I just like doing them. So the shorts, I like doing them, and they have done incredibly well for the channel. The live streams don't bring that many viewers in. Sometimes they even lose viewers who like only subscribe for a short and then do not want the whole combo lifestyle or whatever. And the streams are almost therapeutic for me, but I also just do them because I'm kind of addicted to getting a lot of content out to the world, and I like feel proud. I have a hard time feeling proud, but I can feel proud if I put out like a crazy amount of content in a week. So I try and do that. So I don't know. It would be closer to the edutainment one, but I don't really like that name that much because edutainment just like, it makes me think cheesy. And so it shouldn't necessarily. It could be a nice word. It should be a nice word. But makes me think cheesy for some reason. That's part of what Combo Class is trying to do here. We're like, there is a way to naturally learn a lot of stuff and have a good time and laugh while we do it. But we're going to try and not be as cheesy as a lot of educational programs. We are real, but for better or for worse. So, I don't know, closer to the edutainment one. But I do chat a lot because I rant about various topics. So, over the course of my streams, I usually timestamp them a few hours after they're done, which is usually before they're fully processed or show up in notifications as like the full video after. And usually each stream has a few chunks that's me giving extra math facts that you won't learn in another episode. A few chunks that's re-explaining or extra explaining some things we've talked about before. A few chunks that's opinions, a few chunks that's stories. So the streams are, it's uncut. It's 2 hours straight or whatever it's going to be. Probably not 2 hours tonight, but the streams are the most uncut you will get of me, unless you ever meet me in the combo classroom. If you do, be careful. Not because of me, because of the classroom. So, thank you all so much. The last question I'm going to ask right here is, and I guess the reason I answer two. The reason I would say it's not as much just chatting, because that comment mentioned that again. Maybe that's a genre that means a certain thing, but I do come into my streams with a few topics ready. So I have sometimes written down, sometimes just in my head, 5 to 10 topics ready when I go into a stream. And those are different things. Some of them are a story, some of them are a math fact, some of them are a visual thing I want to show. So I definitely, plan before the stream to make sure it'll be a semi-worthwhile hour and a half or however long it is. To anyone who watches, if you are one of the rare viewers who watches more than half of all my stream content, like probably by watching it after it posts, I doubt you catch it live. That is crazy and cool. You must know a lot about my life. I love you. And even to the others who don't, make sure you're tuned into the combo class channel. That is where my best episodes go. But on this channel, we have a lot of fun too. Now, the last question before we move on to robots is target audience for my channel. Again, I like to think that combo class, we're trying to stretch the limit of age range. You need some, when you go into some topics I present, you do need some prerequisite knowledge, like you need to know how to add and multiply. Some topics you need to know a little more than that even. But I try and make my topics, whenever possible, be understandable to somebody as maybe as low as elementary school or at least as middle school. I think it's even good to watch things you don't fully understand too sometimes. So my target audience is everyone. I would love for everyone to watch combo class. I think the people who understand it the most is anybody who's like high school and up, or middle school and up if you study on your own, or if that's a hobby of yours, or elementary school and up if it's really a hobby of yours. But I think like the people who probably will enjoy it most is like college, maybe high school. I don't know. There's a mix. We have a Discord. There's, a bunch of, you have to be older than 13 to be in the Discord, but there's like a bunch of high school people. There's a bunch of older people. I'm going to be 30 at some point within the next month. And I don't want to tell you guys exactly. I mean, if anyone's really evil and tries to mess with me, I'm sure they can find my birthday anyway, but let's not go there. I won't share it exactly. I will say my birthday is in June and I'm turning 30. And so I'm getting a little bit up there, which is kind of, some people think I'm a little younger because I just like hit the scene with the, I don't know, maybe they don't think I look younger when I have the long hair and beard. So it depends. I have a youngish face maybe when I don't have the long hair and beard, but I have a lot of crazy stories and footage and old channels and stuff from all those years too. So, although it's a little weird that I'm turning 30, I do feel ready for my 30s to be cooler than my 20s, because I had a lot of hard times in my 20s. I almost died. I had to get 2 surgeries. A lot of crazy stuff. And over none of that time did I ever I thought at the back of my mind, one of my creative projects, I didn't know if it was going to be music or writing or YouTube. I was like, one of those, I have to be able to push that till it becomes my job someday, and people can see it. I have stuff I want to show the world. I don't care about being rich or whatever, but I do want people to see my ideas because I have ideas that I think are important. But over the time, it was only really recently, like I said, that any of the YouTube channels that I've had over the past 10 or 15 years. What's that weird animal noise? Is that an animal? You get these weird, like, okay, it's spooky time. You get these weird, like, thing-eating thing noises sometimes. And it's like, usually like a raccoon eating a rat or something. I don't know. Let me see what's going on over here. Animals, what you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? What's going on up this? Okay, that's actually kind of creepy. I actually just kind of got to chill because there's like, I didn't see any animal, but the stray cat sassafras, who's become more and more loving and stuff, was perched up on this tall fence. And at first I thought he was making the noises. And then I was like, no, he's just like up on that fence because he's trying to avoid something. And I couldn't see what he was trying to avoid, but he was like hanging out way up in this safe spot. I was like, what are you trying to avoid? Probably a raccoon. I don't know if you could hear those noises. You get creepy noises sometimes. I live in the city, but my neighbors have these redwood trees and a lot of animals do wild stuff around here. I put a clip on the Patreon already. I'm going to try and work it into an episode somehow. There was a skunk in the classroom the other day. So, let's see what we got here. More and more lovely comments. And and somebody says, ideally healthy, but no one plans to fall ill. I've had to deal with a lot of illness related stuff in the past couple of years. Like I was healthy most of my life, but watch my finale episode that touches the tip of the iceberg. The grade -1 finale on the Combo Class channel touches the tip of the iceberg of some of the like medical pain I went through last year. There was parts of in between making the shorts you know and love that I was like really painfully limping around. And it made me happy to film the shorts. So you guys got to see me at my best. I wasn't faking it. I was in a lot of pain between that, but I also wasn't faking my like excitement in those videos. It was made me really happy to share that stuff. And I have a lot more. There's so many. I like paused on shorts for a minute because I kept being like, I want to rant about this longer. I'll turn this into like a live stream topic or a bonus video or something. But I'm going to start cutting some of those back into shorts. And sometimes I'm also going to make a short about something that I ranted about in a live stream. And I'll just make the short not hit subscription feeds. And be a like different visualization. Like I said, some of the shorts may not be hitting subscription feeds. And if you do like seeing all the shorts, check streams like this in the description. And this one has links to particularly the Combo Class channel ones. I don't need to point you toward the new one on this channel. It's blowing up on its own. The new one, I wanted to put out shorts to make the Combo Class channel get more help because the shorts did so good at boosting this channel. I'm like, let's share some with the Combo Class channel. And the Shorts algorithm really cares about how long you've been posting on there to try and promote it. So all of the 4 I've put on there so far on the Combo Class channel do not have that many views. They have a few thousand, but all of the other ones I've been putting on the Demotro channel that I'm like, okay, this one I don't want on the Combo Class channel. It's a little more casual or whatever. I'll stick it on this channel. Blow up because there's different algorithms within the channel for how they treat you given shorts, how they treat you for live, how they treat you for videos and stuff. And the algorithm really likes this channel's shorts. And so I could like put out a random short and it would probably get a lot of views. I'm not going to test it because I only want to put out good ones still, but I swear it's not necessarily just linked to quality, how much they first promote the shorts. YouTube videos on their own, I'll explain someday what I've learned about the process. It's basically like they start promoting it out to people's pages. You get almost all your views from it showing up on someone's home screen, and some from the sidebars and stuff. Some are subscriptions, but almost all of it's going to be people who see it on the front page. Even your subscribers, a lot of them click that way. And I guess this is boring for a lot of people. I'll be quick. But okay, I'll save that for a bonus video. I'll do a bonus video sometime about things I've learned from the algorithms, because that's like only really applicable to content creators, probably boring for other people. Or I don't know. If you really like the combo life, I always have something or another to phrase uniquely. Somebody likes both the long and short form, they noted, which is cool. I'll be honest, the shorts, although I have a ton of fun making them, the reason I'm gonna start making more of them again is partially because I know they're gonna help the channel, and because I need to hustle a little bit to, make sure we can keep this ball rolling into making someday a combo university and a combo castle and all that. But not that I need to live in a nice castle or anything. You guys can all live there too. But I'm only like half joking. But in any case, let's move on. And I keep getting distracted before I get to the second actual topic. And what I was going to note real quick is just my favorite is the long form. Those are the ones I'm most proud of, the Combo Class episodes. The episodes on the Combo Class channel, those are all the things that I'm really proud of that I hope at some point you all watch all of. Everything on this channel, I doubt everyone has seen all of. This channel, it's okay if it's more like you click the parts you're interested in. However, with streams, remember, after you see a processed one, if it's been a few hours after the stream, it'll probably have timestamps. So don't just go off the title. Be like, okay, are there timestamps in here? Which parts do I want to see? I doubt most of you have time to watch all the streams. That's okay. But I do hope you watch all the Combo Class episodes, because those ones I put a lot of time in. And like the next one, I was almost going to rush it out and be like, it's coming out Monday, 1 week after the last one. But I'm not going to put a deadline on this one because I want to make sure I get some visual representations of the graph theory good. Might take me an extra day to draw them on whiteboards or whatever. It should be out Tuesday or Wednesday, the next like full-length cool Combo Class episode. The last one about the golden ratio is linked in the description. Now, let's actually go to our other topic. Feel free to leave more comments. I'll come back to them in a minute. Our other topic was, I put chat robot or robots being dumb or bad robot math or something like that in the thumbnail. The reason for that is I thought it's been a while since we checked in with our old friend ChatGPT, that popular rising AI thing that I think we are at an interesting historical place to track. In my ChatGPT records, I still have all of its notes. It's saying terrible math things. And if ChatGPT blows up, I think it's going to be pretty funny to have all these notes. Let's look at some of them. Oh, I didn't even light the realish candles because I guess I felt we were... I'm dropping the fakeish candles. Okay. They're not... They are only fake candles. Don't worry. That's not causing any fire. I am actually safe about fire. Believe it or not. Now, I know this candle is not designed for this thing. We're working with what we got. It's probably enough to illuminate where my magnet is. Where's the magnet? It might be inside. Okay, we might have to save the magnet for like an outro. Maybe I'll run inside, like after our robot stuff, I'll run inside, grab the magnet, and see the ferrofluid move. But for now, let's hope there's enough light, as I'm going to shrink myself a bit, so it kind of doesn't matter if you can see me well. And I have ChatGPT right here, and we started with this. This is like a weird flashback stream in a way, because here we have ChatGPT. So, this was what I said at the beginning. If you watched the beginning of the stream, I made a very cheesy joke because it told me to. But that was the end of our conversation. The end was me asking, okay, now to test your sense of humor, tell me your funniest joke you can think of. We'll get to that at the end. The beginning, actually, was my new test. For anyone who hasn't been in this little saga that we've done in streams before, I'm going to put it all together in an episode someday, because I think it's interesting. It's a pretty popular chat robot, and there's been a lot of news that reports on it as, like... Now, there are things that it could help people, like, oh, I need to plug this computer in real quick. There are things that could help you fake an essay or something like that. But if you blindly trust it, you are going to be so wrong. This thing has so many errors. And there's articles that claim it's so much better at certain things than it is. Okay, where's the computer charger? Let me get that part in. Here. So, I kind of want to make an episode at some point that's not just about how ChatGPT was kind of bad but is getting better, but was about, look at all these headlines that a lot of people believed about how ChatGPT can do math stuff, which they actually did say in articles. And we've seen the proof that it's not true. And now there's a difference. They have upgraded it. But I think it's a good warning sign almost to not... You gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna knock over all these cords. Oop. Okay, sorry, I need to get this plugged in without knocking over a bubble machine or ferrofluid. And yes, the bubble machine is ready. We could theoretically do bubbles, but they'd be hard to see. But yes, there's bubbles in the upcoming episode. So, what we have here is they upgraded ChatGPT, and I think they paired up with Wolfram, one of my favorite educational thingies and websites or whatever, companies, I don't know what you call it. I need to make, there we go. So, that should make them really good. Like, Wolfram's amazing. You can ask that calculator stuff, and unless you're asking it some crazy question, it'll probably be accurate. And we've even done side-by-side tests where, like, Wolfram Alpha is so much more reliable than ChatGPT. If it doesn't know, it just won't give you an answer. It's not going to make up this whole story about some fake answer. Now, I didn't know the details. I'm not a tech guy. When, before the stream, like, 4 hours ago or something, I was like, why don't I check on ChatGPT. Let's log back in. Let's see what's up with it. And for anyone who doesn't know, they are really bad at math. Like, here they're like, where was the start of this one? Tell me something interesting about the number 1. One interesting fact about the number 1 is that it is the only number with the property that the sum of the reciprocals of all of the positive integers is equal to 1? What? Where did they get that? It's not. That series diverges toward infinity. And then they prove it, apparently. And in their proof, they hit a, error, and they're like, no, we must force it to the conclusion we started with. 1 plus 1/2 equals 1. It's like, even if you're bad at math, you should know not to do that. And even if you're bad at that, they're inconsistent with logic, with language. They will contradict themselves. They'll say a sentence and then say the same sentence with not in it. Now, this was the older one. They were really bad. Now, they've made this new one called ChatGPT 4. However, when I asked the new thing, I'm like, are you ChatGPT 4? And it's not. Okay, I'm not going to say anything bad about them. We've gotten a lot of cool content out of them, so I might pay for it sometime. But it costs $20 a month or something to do the ChatGPT 4 right now. So it's like, what? So I'm on the free version, and this is apparently called ChatGPT 3.5. And it doesn't know about ChatGPT 4 because it was programmed first. And so it's funny because I asked about it, and they're like, hi, I don't know. What the hell's ChatGPT 4? I don't know. My knowledge cuts off in September 2021. Which sucks because I do ask them about YouTube channels in a bit, and they're not going to know about me because they cut off too early. But then I'm like, yeah, they did make it, but it makes sense you wouldn't know about it. I feel so weird talking back and forth with the robot. And I often feel obligated to be polite to it so that it doesn't make the answer bad or something, but it's not going to make the answer bad. So is it just me wanting to be polite because it's human-esque? So, why should I be polite to this thing? It's very wrong a lot of the time, and it's a robot. It doesn't have feelings. Why am I, as a human, I better say please in my sentences to it? I still am. I'm probably still going to say please. But it's a weird thing about humans getting attached to humanoid things. I'm not attached to it. I don't like using it. I use it for the content right here. I'm probably not going to use it until next time we stream. But in this, actually, I did try and test out a little bit. Part of what I went in here. So basically ChatGPT 3.5 is a little better. However, I don't think it's the one that's paired up with Wolfram yet. I asked them about that, and they're like, we don't know. We're not paired up with Wolfram. And so I think that might only be in 4 that you have to pay for. Okay. If anybody ever really wants me to do ChatGPT 4, then donate me $10. I'll cover the other 10 and I'll buy ChatGPT 4. Otherwise, we'll see if I ever care enough. I don't know if I want to give them my money. ChatGPT 3.5 will do for now. Now, here, yeah, it's come on, bro. I ask about you. You're trying to sucker me into some payment plan. So here, but I'm probably going to end up paying it some month because it's probably going to be worth $20 to test it for a few videos so we can see if ChatGPT 4 is good enough. But if anyone really cares, then you can donate part of the cost. If not, then we'll see when we get it. Here I ask it, yes, I'm wondering how much you know about numbers. Tell me some facts about odd square numbers. And it's pretty good on these. I didn't double check them all, but it looks like it's being pretty good on all those. So I'm like, did it improve a lot? What are some mathematical facts about 22? Before, when we ask it about a given number, it like completely stumbles. Half of them would be wrong before. And now it's doing pretty good. It's like getting some of these basic facts. It's like, it's not that it has a calculator in it, but it's that it's read more articles that include this. Ask about -3. It's doing pretty good, except we wouldn't call a negative a prime. Primes are defined as positive integers greater than 1 with, or positive integers with 2 factors or whatever. But they're pretty good on this too. And 12.5, I'm like testing it. And so I was like, maybe it actually improved. So then I thought, well, I've heard that people like use it to, apparently people are like, I used it to make a whole code. It made my life easier. I used it to do this. It made my life easier. I'm like, really? Okay, well, let's get it to whip me up some tables about numbers in different bases. Or I'll ask it, if it can function like I tell it to do something and it's like a programming script and it'll give me a list. Cool. I have jobs for it. However, I don't know how those people made this thing help them program anything. Maybe if it was something that is like directly copied from another article, I could not teach this thing. This thing does not listen to instruction. Right here, it's doing good because I'm still just asking it about stuff that it's read about. But here's where I start. I start asking about 3-evens, and yeah, they were pretty good. I was like, can you figure out what a 3-even number would mean? Maybe they remember my old conversations. I'm not sure. But they say a 3-even could be a hypothetical term to describe a number that's both even and divisible by 3. But then I'm like, no, hold it. Close. Those are called 3-even evens. 3-even is just a multiple of 3. Doesn't have to. Some of them are even. So we chat about that for a minute. And it's doing pretty good. And I'm kind of giving it questions to try and stump it almost. So, like here I was like, what I wanted to note, triangular numbers and 3-evens. I forget where I mentioned this, a short or a live stream or what, but triangular numbers, where you go 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, they do have structures in different mods. And we will do an episode someday where we see them in many different mods. But we've seen one of those with the nickname. Mod 3 is 3-evens. Triangular numbers, the pattern in mod 3 I've shown. And it goes 0, wait, it goes 1, 0, 0, repeat. It's just that. So and that's why triangular numbers are never pre-3-even throds. They're always either 3-even or post-3-even throds, and they go in a little 3 pattern of that. And I was seeing, like, do they know something like that? Now, they are going here, connection. They're starting to do kind of good. But here they're like, every other triangular number is a 3-even number. That's not it, quite. It's every 2/3 of them are. But, and then they're trying to justify, and they're like 6, which is not 3-even. And so I'm like, you said 6 isn't 3-even. Oh, apologies. And now, whenever I correct them, they're like, apologies. And they give me like a sentence or two of an apology. At some point, I tried to tell them here, I'm like, you can stop saying the apology thing. Where is that? Because these I was kind of just trying to trip it up, and it was doing surprisingly good with like little glitches. And whenever I call it out on a glitch, it's like, apologies for the confusion caused by the incorrect statement in part F. I misspoke in my previous response. It's like, bro, just cut this whole part of it out. I just want the data. I'm not trying to like have a robot pander to me. I don't need come on, dude. I'm not your friend until you can give me the good data. So just work on the data part, and then maybe someday I'll treat you like enough of a friend that this means something. Doubtful, you're a robot. Now, I asked if it's gotten better at math, and I asked, are you willing to admit that your previous versions were fairly bad at math and logic? And it says this isn't true. The company just built this in. What are you talking about? Yeah, they programmed ChatGPT to read like 5 million articles, but not read the previous GPTs. They don't know. Well, I guess it doesn't know how well they did. I'm sure you've read an article that's criticized something about it before, or complimented something. It is really cool. Now, note, I'm not a hater of the concept. It's like, I'm old-fashioned, so it's weird. I'm old-fashioned just in terms of, like, I like nature and, like, real stuff, and I'm not a big tech guy. But, so it's weird and new to me, kind of. But, and it's not probably going to be a big hobby of mine ever to do an AI-related thing. But it's cool. It is very smart. I'm just always shocked at the, like, contrast between when it'll be brilliant for a few responses in a row. And I'm like, they programmed this thing great. And then it will just, like, fall over its feet and then fall over everything. So I'm trying to trick them on some different ways. And they keep being like, I cannot do that. I do not know. And here's where they say they don't have a connection with Wolfram. So I think they built that into the 4 one, not the 3.5. Tell me a really complicated math fact. They started talking about the Riemann hypothesis. It's not really a fact. Or what fact are they saying? It's a hypothesis. It's not a fact. But it's complicated. Here's what I wanted to do next. I knew the old versions. I've gotten them to say they proved something. I think I got one of the old ones to say it proved there was an infinite amount of twin primes. So I was like, can I still get it to do that? Can I trick it into thinking it can prove the twin prime conjecture in 3 paragraphs? Or 4 paragraphs. But this time, it was a little smarter. It's like, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's a little more humble. I respect it. It knows that it's not going to be able to solve the twin prime conjecture. Now, I still tried to trick it, but it's smart. Yeah. Now, here's where it starts to go off the rails, though. Well, first, it's being smart because, although right here they're a little weird. They're like, they say Fermat's last theorem is impossible to prove or something. Where is that? It's not possible to prove Fermat's last theorem. They got that one pretty wrong. It was a big deal when that was proven about 20 years ago. Oh, whoa, it's really close to 20 years ago. Oh my God, when was that? Hold up. I'm going to make my face big so I can pull up in a browser, just search something. I'm always scared it's going to show like some maps thing or whatever. Now, when did Andrew Wiles present his proof of Fermat's last theorem? It was in 93 and it was in June. It was on the 23rd of June, 1993. And well, that's where he first announced it. And however, it did need to be revised in 1994. And then in 1995, it was fully published. But the really big deal was when he presented it and they knew that he had all the stuff there. The little error he had wasn't like, oh, the whole thing's broken. They were able to fix it. So yeah, it says John Conway, who's one of my favorite mathematicians, called it the proof of the century, meaning of the 1900s. And Man, Fermat's last theorem was around for so many years. We're going to do an episode about that someday, because we're going to do about beyond Fermat's last theorem. What about when you're allowed to add more than... what can you have 3 fourth powers add up to another fourth power? Can you have 4 fifth powers? Where are your limits? We saw that in a short once, I did, but someday will be an episode 2. But yeah, so this was a big deal, and we're going to have to celebrate that because it's pretty soon. That's in a little under a month. It's going to be exactly 20 years. And maybe I'll try and drop... oh, maybe I should make that one of the next episodes. Maybe I should drop that episode then. Oh, that's a kind of good idea. Maybe I'll do that. That would be sick. Now, am I wrong that... let's see. Oh, sorry. I was big on all of that. I thought you guys were seeing the screen. I need someone to run my tech. Now, somebody he worked with on it, Ken Ribet, who I think's been on Number File, and is, you know, just a mathematician who's cool. Ken Ribet helped put together some of like the groundwork that made this thing possible. Here, sorry, I was big. This is what I was looking at. The Wikipedia about Weyl's proof of Fermat's last theorem. Now, Ken Ribet taught at Berkeley. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am, but I'm in the Bay Area, and I'm very close to, in the general area of that UC Berkeley College. So, maybe I can go to like a historical spot and drop an episode about this 20 years later at a historical spot. Got to think about that one. So, now, going back to this thing. That was a whole sidetrack. This was because they said it's not possible, but it is. Oh, well, there they say it was proven. This is what I mean of like, they're not a good language model. Like, I mean, they're really good. They're better than any other language model. But they're far from as perfect as some sources make it look. It's... here they say it's not possible to prove Fermat's last theorem. Oh, no, within a few words. Okay, so that they're not as bad. Oh, they actually got that more right. They just phrased this with a bunch of commas. If you treat this as all within a comma, like if that was in parentheses, it would make more sense. Then I get what they mean. But, okay, so this part is... well, I was curious here. This might be interesting. I said, does your brain, in quotes, because I didn't know what to call it, include the full proof of Fermat's last theorem, or just articles? And it says, I know it's mixed with publicly available data and licensed data. A lot of info there, thanks. But, oh, that was another cat. But then here, they didn't read it, I guess. They didn't absorb the whole Fermat's proof. So I asked them, but this is like one of the most complicated papers of all time. I'm just trying to break the machine once in a while. I had to do it. It's a 10,000 page paper. I'm not joking. It is actually 10,000 pages. So I had to ask them to describe it briefly. But they were like, I can't. So they're getting smarter. Well, no, they did describe it briefly in this case. They're like, they skimmed. Oh, but they got some of this wrong. I asked them about it. The monster theorem. There's a big thing called the monster group. Is not a monster theorem. And then I'm like, tell me more about this monster theorem. And they're like, apologies for any confusion. This must, somewhere around here, I ask them to stop doing the apology. It's just wasting space. All right, here we go to anybody who remember. Oh, okay. So I think it was earlier this stream, I shouted out a few channels. I said that the channels that have a bigger body of work than me, so I still consider them to be a better math channel than me, include 3 Blue 1 Brown, Mathologer, Numberphile, and Stand Up Maths. And bam! This computer has good taste! It's the first 4! That's my 4 favorite math channels, probably. That's just crazy. The first 4. Great taste. Okay. Getting reminded of this, I forgive ChatGPT. They have great taste in math YouTube. Mind Your Decisions, pretty good. Okay, that sounds like a diss. He's cool. Mind Your Decisions is cool. Vihart, very cool. Very interesting. Here, I was saying, this one they're kind of off. Like, what's an unsolved problem in math you think nobody has made a YouTube video about yet? And they say, the Collatz conjecture. That's like literally, probably like the most talked about open conjecture. It's like the pop culture one, practically. It's like the worst pick for something that nobody would have made one on. In fact, I wasn't going to make a Collatz conjecture video for a while because there's already a really good one on the channel Veritasium and some other channels. And I was like, I'm only going to make a video if I'm going to like do something that wasn't already done well in a video. So now I've read more about it, and we are going to do an episode about the Collatz conjecture because I don't think any of the YouTube videos I saw have the facts I'm going to share. Or it's not like gonna help you crack the Collatz conjecture or anything. It's just a cool way of looking at it related to other bases. Now, I was like, what are some less popular unsolved problems? Just they are smart at this. I was like, you can just give me the names and make a longer list of names as opposed to including descriptions for this. And they did it. I don't know all these. What's the art gallery problem? That sounds cool. I know most of these. These are classics. There was actually a video I just saw that just came out on a pretty cool math channel called Up and Atom about this one. Came out like a day or two ago. By the way, when I recommend my stream people to watch other stuff, thank you for sticking around and watching it later, because I know it's not good for my channel's growth to keep being like, oh, these are other cool videos on YouTube. But I'm too real. So here we said, which of these would be closest? I wanted to get it to try and prove one. But let's just jump back here a little bit. It says it can do this stuff. What number theory can you do? What can you prove? Prove Wilson's theorem. I don't know. If someone wants to read through, I didn't read through this one actually, because I started going through other ones. If someone want to double check this is, what are they doing there? So, I asked them about a few more things. They mixed up some things, but this is where I decided, let me try to see if there's any chance I could like use this in a useful way. Like right now, I'm, only envision myself using it for almost as a joke for the stream, a joke and a test of where AI is at. But I was like, let's try it. Please provide me a list of all the distinct representations of each integer between 0 and 12 when expressed in each integer. I didn't know how to say this. Every numeral base that's an integer that is more than, I should have said more than 1, I meant, but more than or equal to 2. And here, it looks like they're good at the representations at first. Like, look, it's like in base 3. Here's how we write all these numbers. So somewhere in their brain, they know this stuff, which is at the heart of all the stuff I'm about to ask them. Somewhere in their brain, they know all this stuff. And something went weird there. I don't know. Or maybe I paused them. Oh, yeah, I did. I even told them so. Because I want you to try something trickier. I want you to count how many of the bases. Here's kind of what I was doing. There's the episode I made a bit ago where I had a big chart of like the realm of different representations of numbers and basic bases. Like, here's the numbers, here's the typical bases, here's all the representations. I was seeing like, count up all the last digits that each one has. I'm curious about that data. If anyone's a programmer, you send me that too, because this didn't help. Feel free to email me if you want to calibrate things about random traits I want to amalgamate for each number about all of the distinct representations it has in the typical integer bases to up through itself, because once you get one past itself, it's the same representation. It's its own digit symbol. It gets a digit symbol if the base is higher than it. So beyond that, they're not distinct or different ones. So if we ask about the distinct representations of each number, we don't even have to say a range. I was just trying to be extra clear to the robot. So here they're like, the number 13 ends in 0 in base 14. It's like, no, what's going on there? They got some weird, like, they were really good at this part. And all of a sudden, it's like, no, 13 does not end in a 0 in base 14. 13, we don't even want 14. I said to go up to 13. I said to go under 13. 13's bigger than I said. Now, I said, can you list more numbers? And I think I was just rushing and I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's see, do a bunch and then I'll double check them. Because if I had double checked that, I probably would have called them out on a lot of stuff before I asked them for any more data. And here they're going like 30 ends in 0 in base 31. It's like, no, why are you starting the one above? And it always thinks that the number ends in a 0 and the base one above it. And so I tried to clarify. It's like, here's the range I want. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. These are all the clarifications. And they're like, sorry. And, whoa, there's a big bug right here. You see that bug? That's the type that I think is a crane fly. What I call a mosquito eater. Now, I'm kind of used to them. Those things are big, but I know they don't bite. So they fly in my room sometimes and they're hard to get out. So they'll just like be in my room and I'll be trying to sleep and it'll like bounce off my face. And I don't know, the 50th time it bounced off my face, I stopped being scared of those things. They don't bite. So I'm not sure if you could see it, but they're the things that you might know as mosquito eaters that are like, they look kind of like daddy long leg spiders with wings. Now, here they got all this weird stuff and they have all these 0 bases. And I wanted them to keep giving me stuff, but I wanted them to cut out the zeros. So I was trying to go, whoa, this is weird. Why'd they write that like that? Why is that like super big and bold? That's weird. That's like a glitch in their like graphic design or something. I broke it. No. And then I was just like, I knew it could do it if it actually thought about it, because it like had there was some times where it would know the thing. And if I told it like list all the triangular numbers, then it would get it right. But if I just tell it like, here's a question, they like really quickly spit out an answer that's wrong. So I kept trying to tell it like, please wait, slow down, please. Like, I know you can do this if you actually think about it. You like gave me basically the right answer before. You know what a last digit is. You know all the representations. You can know what the last digit is. You know how to format it really well, but you won't listen to me trying to, like I was trying to be really slowly and steadily give it advice and corrections. Wait, we want like this. You're confused. What about this? Let's go like this. So like this. And I'm like trying to see if I can make it do this. And it's like, you're getting so many wrong. These are not right. It's like the number 11. It ends in a 1 in one base, and it ends in all the other digits in no bases. What on earth is it supposed to end in the other places then? Well, base 2. In any base but base 2, it just doesn't have a last digit. Apologies. They're like, they spend more time going slow. You can tell when they're going slow and fast. They go slower on this bit, the apology, than on the like, bullet, speed out this list that's wrong. I'm like, whoa, maybe you can't do this. This is like way wrong. And they're like, can you please think about it thoroughly? I was just annoyed at it because when it thought slow, it could do it. It had this stuff in its brain somewhere, and it was trying to rush me. It was trying to just spit out those answers at me to get me off its, whatever. Apologies. Here's the number 12. Again, it ends in 1 in 2 bases. It ends in 2 in the same base. The base 5, it apparently ends in both these digits. But in no base apart from 2, 5, or 13 does it end in any digit. And then, so, I'm trying to correct them. And then, now they're like, I was like, there's not enough there. We need more. And they overloaded it this time. There's like underloaded, no bases. Overloaded. Look at all these repeats. Both of these are 3. Both of these are 2. Both of these are 4. It's like every single one practically is a repeat. Like, we can't have something be the same in 2 bases. No, it's not correct. And then they're going here. And I'm trying to ask them about, like, I'm trying to fix them. I'm trying to get them to the state where they'll understand me. I'm like, so 12 simultaneously ends in all these digits? They're like, no, it can't do that. I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, this is where I said it. I was so done with all the apology lines. Like, by the way, you don't need to apologize or thank me or anything. You can just give information. I think you can figure this out. Previously, you created a list for various integers of their representations in different bases. All you need to do is tally up for a given integer the last digits of those representations and how many times they occur. Understood. All of this craziness with all these crazy repeats. Nah, and so much wrongness. And they just... certain things they just don't understand. They just like, no matter how many times. Note, there should never be repeats of the same number for different last digits of the same number, like in bases 4 and in bases 4. I'm trying to like quote them that they said that twice in a row here. And they're like, I'm sorry, here's the corrected version with more repeats. You don't get what I'm trying to say. You can't say this twice. Oh no, they think they got away with it because this time I told them not to say bases 4 twice in a row, and it was the same thing. This time, because of the and, this one was next to the 6, so it's base 6, and this one's like and 6. So it treated and 6 as different than base 6, I bet. That's my hypothesis. Still got duplicates, like base 8 twice. Can you create it? Still got an extra 8. I don't know how many times I can point out this 8. I'm like, you did the exact same thing. Never mind. I'm like, I'm sorry. Please stop apologizing. I just want your info. I don't want these apology paragraphs. Just say like, okay, or something. I don't need this fake humanity. All right. for each integer, how many integer numeral bases in this range up to it is it divisible by the sum of its digits? That was some random info that would be fun to have. It's known as a Harshad number in a given base when they have that property, but I was like, tally them up in this fashion. And here they got really wrong. Those are very wrong. Let's try something else. I didn't even want to try correcting it. It was too wrong. I'm sorry. Please stop apologizing. Okay. I will refrain from unnecessary apologies in my responses. It took... I tried to knock it out. They didn't actually. I feel like they apologized more after this. But math lists. These are math lists I can do. Okay, how about numbers in different mods? How about that? Oh, this was the thing I was thinking about with the triangular numbers. So they keep saying triangular numbers loop that 0, 1, 0, 1. In, like, from the beginning, they're wrong. In mod 2, it's not exactly that. And mod 3 is not that. Mod 3 doesn't have any 2s in it. And it's a way shorter cycle. It's a 3-length cycle. It's not that. But no. So I was like, just do mod 2 and 3. Just pinpoint those. So those are wrong again. Neither of those is true. What is the list of triangular numbers? And look, just when I say, what is the list of triangular numbers, it tries hard enough to check and knows the answer. So it knows the answer. It knows how to figure that out from the list of triangular numbers. Just didn't want to take the time there. It did some shortcut. Here, when I asked them, you got to go through the list. They're like, all right, well, since you made me write the list, I do actually know how to use that to solve it. That's correct for mod 2. Mod 3, they're still woo. So now here it's like they repeat this crazy thing. And I'm like, no, there are no 2s. I was trying to tell them no triangular numbers are congruent to 2, mod 3. Sorry, here's the list again. You still put 2 in mod 3. Sorry, here's the list. They took all the 2s out, but it's not that either. They just took the 2s out. No, list the triangular numbers again and try that slower. Here's the triangular numbers, and here's the correct answer. They know how to do this stuff. They just don't want to spend the time. Both times when I made them think through the triangular numbers, they got the answer and they butchered it when I first asked them. So it's only gonna be right if you know enough about the subject to babysit it into being good enough. So you already have to know the subject, if you know. All right. Correct. See, you tried harder when thinking there, and it got you the right answer. Please do that type of thinking with future lists. Understood. I apologize. It's like, bro, you told me you were going to stop apologizing. Okay. I was like, okay, let's test square numbers. These are the square numbers, mod 4. And I'll double check that later. They're probably wrong, knowing them. But I'm asking them a few questions. And here I asked them about the symmetry and stuff. And here's another funny one. I was like, can you give me the cubic residues? We've talked about quadratic residues, and cubic residues are like, in one of these mods, I've talked about what cubes can be. Now, I looked at this list, and I don't know the cubic residues off the top of my head, but I know that in our base, cubes can end in any digit. So I know that mod 10 should have everything from 0 through 9 in some order. So I'm like, okay, we're missing a lot there. This is probably all wrong, but we're at least missing a lot there at a first glance. So I'm like, well, and what's with all the 8s? Look, 8, mod 3. You don't write 8 in mod 3. This should be reduced to a 2. Like 8 almost doesn't exist in mod 3. Like 8 becomes 2 when we do all of our tricks with it. And I'm like, no, that's not true. What's with all the 8s? And here, they removed the 8s from the lower lists, but now this list is so sparse. Cubes can end in way more than that. Like in mod 10, there's not just 2. Oh my god, this little chain. So I'm like, there's not just 2 in mod 10. They're like, you're correct. I'm wrong. This is the correct one. They went up to 4. So I say, no, there's not just 4. And they go, okay, I'm sorry. And this is after they said they weren't going to apologize anymore. I'm sorry. Here's the right one. Now they have 6. I'm like, there's not just 6. They're like, okay, there's 10. They at least didn't have to stop by 8, like I was worried. Okay, I'm like, okay, now can you tell me all of them? You got them for mod 10. What about all of them? The 8s are back. There's maybe even more 8s than ever. Why is there 8 in mods smaller than 8? Sorry, we'll get that out of here. But they left 1 8. They got rid of most of the 8s. So here I ask, you missed an 8. Now, how do you think the robot would interpret that? You missed an 8. I was hoping they would assume that I meant when we were saying remove the 8s, we shouldn't have the 8s, like when I'm saying, why is there an 8? You missed an 8, I hope they meant, or I hope they knew, we remove it. But what they thought I meant was you missed an 8 in mod 10 and we need to put 2 8s there. It's like, bro, no, now we have 2 problems. I mean, probably many other problems. Don't even want to look at the other parts. I don't know the cubic residues off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's wrong. This part, at least, is like, now we got 2 errors. You got the 8 still, and you added an 8. No, didn't want you to add an 8. So then they trim all this stuff, and then I was like, okay, here's a trim list. Could this be right? Let me check. Let's check a low one. Mod 3. Nope, it should have a 2 there. Well, okay, my first test busted. Why isn't 2 there? You're right. Let's put a 2 in there. You see what I mean by you have to know the subject enough to babysit it until you know when the answer is actually correct. It'll give you a wrong answer, and if you know enough about the subject, you can push it here and there and there and there until it gets to the right answer. Maybe. It can't even do it here. It's really bad at listening to me. Please go through them one at a time and actually calculate them. Some of this stuff I saw it do and then undo. And here's the correct list. Dun, dun, dun. No, the 8s are back. I apologize for the mistake. Let's remove all the 8s except for that 1, of course. We'll still always leave the one on 3 for no reason. You really like sticking that 8 in that mod 3, don't ya? It told me it was going to stop apologizing, and every single response from it has apologies or apologize in it. So, every single response after it said it would stop. Every single one. So, I was like, I give up. You're not going to help me make a list. It's not good at me trying to correct something we don't want the 8s. If you okay, we're getting closer. No, all the 8s are back. So I don't know how people, when they said I used this to help me make code for Python or something, must have been a code that was exactly the way someone wrote something in an article. Because when they need to when your question lines up with them just directly pulling from stuff, they know a lot about history and stuff, but... Alright, so here I was just trying to see their capabilities. Can you write these Mersenne primes in binary? I was kind of just messing with it. I was like, you were going so quick and rushing out your answers wrong for me earlier. Well, write this Mersenne prime in binary, why don't you? Now, this is a prime, if we interpret this in binary. Pretty cool, huh? Now, and we fix some stuff, and then here, oh, I asked them, if I show this on live stream later, what is a message that you think the old I wasn't sure what to ask them, but I picked Euler, probably the greatest mathematician of all time. What's a message you think the old mathematician Euler would have wanted to pass on to my viewers? And then usually it'll just be like, I cannot answer, I'm robot. So I tried to grease it up a bit with, I know this is a subjective question, so you can just guess. And they say, if I were to guess, it would be something like this. Embrace the beauty of mathematics and its endless possibilities. Dive deep into its elegant structures. Unravel its mysteries and explore the vast realm of numbers, shapes, and equations. Remember that mathematics is not just a tool, but a captivating journey that can enrich your understanding of the world. Be curious, persevere through challenges, and let the joy of discovery guide your mathematical explorations. Doubt he would have used those words. I'm sure his language was very different, but not bad. Yeah, let's go with that. Not bad. Okay, and then we tested the sense of humor, and now we are full circle. This is how I started the live stream, asking it, tell me the funniest joke you can think of. For context, I'll be teaching mathematical facts and other educational subjects in a slightly chaotic way in a strange realm of clocks and plants. What would be the funniest possible? So, by the way, folks, that cheesy thing I said at the beginning right here, that I don't even get what the joke's supposed to be. It's like root, maybe? Because like square root or something? Like, what's the joke? Like, of course, plant grows. What? So this cheesy thing I said at the beginning, according to ChatGPT 3.5, was the funniest possible thing I could have said to you at that moment. Okay, so that wraps up our ChatGPT session. Our stream's almost over, but I haven't looked at the chat in a minute, so I will say hi and answer a few more questions and such. We've been going on for a while. It's a fun night stream. Haven't done a night stream in a while. Somebody asked how I feel about reptiles and arachnids. Big fan of reptiles, medium fan of arachnids. I don't hate spiders, but I'm a little creeped out by the ones that are big enough to like have thick legs or be hairy or something, because like, I don't know, if I have the data on if it bites or not, then if I know it doesn't bite, I'm good. You can put it on me. But you don't have that data with all the spiders. So, big fan of reptiles, medium fan of arachnids. Now, lots of good questions, and can't answer all of them because we have been going for so long that I want to wrap up pretty soon and eat some food and such, and we're not doing the cooking stream today, sorry. But thank you to all the nice comments. I love that you have joined me throughout this strange journey. And we can ask it a new question. So let's ask it one last question that's new. Someone says they couldn't find my email address. It should be on the contact link on my page too. It's in the description of one of the recent streams, if not this one. If you look in one of the recent videos has it in the description, but it's normally I just tell people go to the contact page on YouTube, but there's like an about section, then this thing that you click, I'm not a robot, and you get the thing. But apparently that doesn't work on all devices or something. Somebody said they couldn't find that. So it might not work on phones or something to do it that way. That's why I started putting it in some descriptions, just like with spaces and stuff, so we don't get as much robot spam. I still have to go through my real emails. If you are someone who's emailed me recently, I probably am still going to get back to you. But anyway, I'll also just say it because it's easy to say. It is combouniversity@gmail.com. Now, I do think I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. Let's see. Do we have anything else going on here? We're not going to build the Lego today. Here is, once again, that weird gadget thing we'll build another time. The main thing to look forward to is a cool graph theory episode coming out around Tuesday or Wednesday on the Combo Class channel about a great unsolved problem in math and some connections to other stuff. But of course, there will probably be some bonus stuff before then. There will actually be a Monday stream at 5 p.m. too, because I said I'd be doing those in May when possible. And then I'll announce what I'm planning for June. Still need to think about my June streaming. And I'll announce that on the Monday stream, whatever will be happening then. But there'll probably also be some sort of bonus video before that. And maybe a few shorts before the graph theory is ready to drop in a few days. So, thank you all for joining me. I am going to log off now because it's been quite a while. But I really do love you all. Can't believe that we're already building such a community with just this channel at 9 months old and the Combo Class channel like barely more than a year old. That is crazy cool. I've had a lot of channels over the years, and this is definitely the first one that, like, you know, anyone except my friends or family cared about. So awesome. Got great things planned for the future. We are going to have some really cool stuff coming up. So thank you all for joining me. I'll add timestamps when I have the chance. It was a super long stream, so it'll probably be a few hours from now that I get all the timestamps when I have time to skim through and get those all in. If anyone is bored, they can also leave a comment with any timestamps of any of your favorite moments when you see the processed form hit in a moment. And I think the processed form is available right away, but the HD takes a little bit to process. I think when I'm logged in, I think I can like see the HD from my end, but I think it like takes a while to go to subscription feeds. It waits till it's HD or something, but it's available to rewatch in some form as soon as it's done. So love you all. Make sure you're up to date on that main Combo Class channel and the links like the Discord and Patreon and subreddit and stuff that we have in the description. And if for some reason those aren't here with the email, they're in most of my video descriptions at least. You are all super awesome, and this was a lot of fun. Next time we do a nighttime stream, maybe I will bust out a campfire. See you, not in that one, but in some sort of bonus video or two. And then in, well, actually, next will either be a bonus video or the Monday stream. The Monday stream will be coming, whether or not there's a bonus thing. And there'll probably be a bonus thing tomorrow, too. We'll see. Anyway, graph theory episode around Tuesday or Wednesday. Love you all so much. And I will see you, or if you're a stream head, Monday 5 p.m. Monday Pacific time. Monday 5 p.m. Pacific is our next stream. All right. Love you all so much, and I'm going to go grab